Hello, my name is Rishad Kumar, and I'm gonna talk about how to create or how to work Scratch, the programming site called Scratch. So in this, we'll be learning the characters, where you can upload your own characters, choose from characters, backgrounds, and sound effects, and code those characters with basic movements and ideas. So if you go over here on a Scratch site, and you log in or create an account for free, you can go over here and choose create. On this, it takes you to a new project where you can start on a new project of a storyboard game or anything you would like to do. So on here, let me explain a few things. There are sound effects, background, and characters. These three things are already given in many variations. But if you still do not like any of those three, you could delete the character. Like this cat is there, I could delete this character from here, clicking delete. It goes. So over here, it's called a sprite in Scratch, or you want to call it a character. You just click on sprite, and it gives you all of these characters or slash sprites. So there are many of them, and some of them even have animations. Like this one, this girl is talking. Then there are many colors in the balloons, and this girl's walking. So then animals, people, fantasy, dance, so many sections. Or if you want, you could search personally. But if you still do not like this, then you could go back and you could upload a sprite. So when you click upload, you could download an image from Google and upload your own character as you wish. Now moving on to background. In background is the same as sprite. There are many backgrounds that you can choose from. So there's Arctic, baseball 2, basketball, sky, bedroom, city, castle, uh, then farm, desert. So there are many things and there are even many sections, and you could search. Same with the sprite. Or if you want, if you don't like any of these, you could just hover your mouse over the background icon over here, backdrops, and upload a backdrop. Like you download an image and you can just upload it. So then over here it says even something called paint. So you could paint your own sprite and choose any color you want. So like over here you have paint. So you can choose fill color of any sort. Like I wanted a green character, and then do I want a line? No, I'll take a paint. Then I could start painting however I like to do it. Then if I want, I could change the size even. Like I don't want a 10, I want a 25. And then I could start painting. So the size font becomes 25. And like that it comes up here. So that basically is your character. So if I type hi. So basically hi. So it's come like that, and you could change the colors, and if you want you could just draw a square or anything like that. And like I want it to be blue now. And I could click fill, and then I could fill it over here. So it's come over here. So you could do that, and that's basically for paint, and then that same goes for backdrop too. So you could paint your own backdrop. So over here there are three things. So there's code where you have all of your sections of motion, looks, sound, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my blocks. So these things, operators, variables, and my blocks, will be like a bit of confusing to understand. Otherwise, the other ones like motion, look, sound, events, and control and sensing will be easier. So I've already seen in costumes, which is where you paint your own character. Code now comes to sounds. So over here you have a pop sound. So if I play it, once you can hear the pop sound. Okay, then if I want, I could make it faster like this, and it become faster. So then if I want, I could fade out even, and it will sound like this. If I don't like the sound, I could just delete the sound and click on the sound option. I could choose my own sound, or I could record my own sound or upload a recording. So it's any of those three options. So if I go choose a sound, there are many varieties again, just like the other ones, like electric guitar or electric piano, so or a bass. So like that, there are many sounds like these, and you could choose from any of these. Okay, just like that. Just like that, I've showed you the backdrops, characters, and sounds. So I could delete the sprite and go back to code. Now let's choose a sprite character. So let's just choose let us choose Avery walking. So we have chosen this. So if we want to, we could just drag Avery or this sprite character to anywhere on the screen as we want, and it shows the coordinates of the screen, even so x and y. And if you want, if you're putting a backdrop, even let's put a backdrop. So let's choose where do you want to put it. So fine, we just put the blue sky and we want to put it over the ground. So over here, but she looks a bit too big, so we can just change the size of the character. So let's put it like 70. So it becomes this small, and then certain sprite characters, as I mentioned before, have looks or motion in it. So this character has a walking motion. So the green flag basically means when you start the whole code, and the red flag means you can stop the code. So let's say I go to you have to go to events where you drag the block called when green flag clicked, and after that you can go to motion and say, okay, move 10 steps. So if I click that, it's starting to move 10 steps, but I have to click it every time. So instead of doing that, instead of clicking green flag every time, I could change the number of steps to 30, and I could go to control and do repeat or for forever. So I put the repeat over here. So I wanted to repeat 5 times. So like that, when green flag clicked, repeat 5 times, move 30 steps. So I could drag her back all the way here and start the code. So like that, she's walking. So just like that, you can turn and do anything you want. And then, so whenever you want, when a starting screen or you're creating a game, you want the character to move a certain position on the screen. So you could go set x2 and set x2 this much. So I set x2 right now. It's at 7. It's at minus 43 and minus 85. I want her to go back all the way here. So just 193 minus 193. I could just edit that here, and then this is minus 189. So I could just change it. Set y. Drag set y and click minus 89. There you go. So you could just put that even, and then that's basically it. You can change the positioning. So when you click this, so imagine my character has walked all the way to here. So then I could click this and she goes all the way back there and then starts moving 30 steps. But then see, this is the confusing part. You did put this. I put a set x and set y to this position, but instead that's repeating. So it'll keep on going after moving 30 steps. It'll keep on going there. So instead, we take out the set x and we take out this whole part and only put move 30 steps, and we put this later over here. So when green flag clicked, you move the character moves to this much position and then repeat 5 times. It moves 30 steps. So if my character is over here, so it goes there and it moves 30 steps. So just like that, you could do that even. And then there's this option called if on edge bounce. So bounce means if it reaches the edge of the screen, which is over here, it will just bounce back. So if I click that, if I put that over here, once again, for that we need to do one more, put another control, which is if and else. If this condition is true, then what happens, and else if it's not true, then this happens. So if we drag this here and put it under the repeat sign, we remove the repeat sign and we exchange it with the forever loop. So we delete this block and put forever loop and put this if sign in it. So if on edge bounce, so I can put that over here. So once again, so I can go to sensing over here. So once I put sensing in here, so let's see if it's touching any color I want. So let's draw a box over here. I could go to this backdrop. Okay, I could go to this backdrop. I've already selected it, so I can edit a part here I want. So let's see red. I put all this way to red, and that's it. So I draw a box. pink, red, any color. So I drew a box and I filled it with color. Wait, no, let's change it to different color. Let's put it on yellow or yellowish green. So if it touches that color basically, so I could change the size to 50, and then I could just color the inside. So like that, I've just added something over here, and then if I scroll down, there's this part is even left, so I could just color it. Over here, it shows in the end screen of how much color is left or where I will to add. So once I've gone that, I could go back to my code, and then I could click on my sprite, and it shows the code of that sprite. So if I go here and say if it's touching this color, so I drag this block and put it here, and I change the color. See, you can change the color, but you won't get the exact shade you have colored over here or you have painted over there. So you could just click this icon here, and basically anywhere on the screen you can just choose the color you want. So this, it gets set automatically, and it's set over here. So if it's touching this color, then you bounce back. If it's touching this, then you move. Then you can click, then move back to this position. So after that, you go to X and Y. So I could delete block instead of like changing the X and Y. You could just drag your character back to the position you want, and it automatically changes over here. So if you drag this and put it, it's basically if the character is walking and touches this color over here, it goes back to this position, and then else move 30 steps. So like this, if that doesn't happen, then you move 30 steps. So now when we play this animation, so when we play it, so let's just go over the code. When green flag clicked, it will set our position to this as we want. Then we have the forever loop. So if it's touching the color this, it will send the character back to the position we want. Else it will keep on moving 30 steps. See, now this is an issue. I've created this issue purposely. It's keep on giving the character back to the position as we wanted it to. So let's just stop the code and bring the character over here. And instead we drag this code. This part is okay, but then we do not need it to go on forever. So let's just delete that and repeat like 3 times. So we repeat 3 and then add this back in here. So once we run it now, so let's just change the steps to 50. So like this, see, it's not completely touching it. It's not completely touching the block, and it's only moving 50 steps as it's supposed to do. So let's move it to 100 this time. 100 steps. As you can see, it's moving way too fast. So now what we want to do is go over here, and there's a glide option. So once we go over here, once we reach the end after reaching 100 steps, we can drag this where it's in looks. So if you go in looks, and let's just say hello for 2 seconds. So you can, after removing 100 steps, you can add whatever you want to the code. So hello, my name is Richard. So like that for 3 seconds for people to read. So like that, once you started, hello, my name is Dashrath. So exactly like that. There, just like that, the code's done. And it's repeated 3 times, so it's basically done. So that's basically how you could do it. And then imagine, so let's just say I drag this code over here, and then I go over events and say one sprite clicked, or no, let's do one green flag clicked. One green flag clicked and go to events control, and click the F, and what happens? So, and forever loop, because we do not know when will it happen, so just forever loop. When a green flag click forever, we go to sensing and say touching color this, then we add a play the recording this much. So we drag this here, so it's touching this color, so we have to just click this icon to choose the color we're touching. So when touching this color, or no, we can add another color. Let's just add another color. So let's go to costumes. Oh no, let's click the backdrop first of all. And then now we can go to backdrops and add another color. So let's choose a color of red. A proper red this time. So I could just add it over here. There. I've added it over here basically. And then I could go to back to my code, drag my character over here to the starting position, and then choose a color. If it touches this color, then it plays a recording. So let's choose sounds even now. We delete this, choose a sound of, let's see, animals, loops, notes, space, sports, voice, wacky. Let's choose wacky. So this is a big boing, wacky sound. Bite, pooping, clown horn. So let's just say like cheering. So basically cheering. So I click this sound. So if I play it, like that's not such a big thing she's done. So we could cut short this thing even. So we could so let's just play it again. Start from here and like we can end it over here. Oh no, we start from here and complete this whole thing. So when whatever is highlighted in blue, you can delete that. So like that, and she played. Let's cut short it a bit more, just because it's not such a big thing she did, just for teaching purposes. So delete again, and like this, you can just customize the sounds you want as you like. Okay, so that's the sound I want, and now I go back to. So this is the code. So basically, the sound is cheer. So I go to code, and then I go to click sound. Then it's already there for you because that's the sound you've added. So you can click, just drag, play sound cheer over here until done. That's all. Okay, so now once we run the code, I'll repeat 3 times. I'll go there, and when it touches the color, it starts playing the cheer. So basically that's the code, and then I've showed you how to experiment with the backdrops, with the characters, and you can add multiple characters. And then if you like, if I show you, I add another character. Let's add Avery, I guess. No, it's the same person. We add this character. So once we click it, so this character has its own set of space for you to add its own set of codes. So you can do the same thing with that, and basically you could change the sounds, customize the characters, backdrops, and anything like that. So this is the after this I've showed you showed you this project, how the basics. If I could show you one of my own old projects, so I could leave this because I'm not going to keep this project. I could show you my old projects that I've made, my first project. So once again, where is it? So conversation between 1 second. Yes, so this is one of my first projects. It's basically for the random band. So it was when I was learning coding. So once I click C inside, so when you click that two option where you could search and scratch, you could either search and scratch and choose to play the game, or you could click C inside, and if you have a count, you could click remix. So remix, you could add your own codes to the already existing code. So like this, I've created my own code, and then let's just do a full screen, and let's start it.
Give a round of applause for One Direction.
So that's my voice. I will my own voice. Here, like that. So the drums are playing on its own because I've added a loop on that. And if I click her, it will start a song. And if I click the character or the piano music, piano and the drums as well. So basically all of that's played, and when you click the red button, it completely stops. So like that, you could customize anything you want and then do a recording of your own voice for more effect. So that's about the basics of Scratch and example project. So once you get time, and if you have time, then you could experiment on the Scratch and create your own project on any kind of topic you would like. And then Scratch would be taking I'll be taking 3 to 4 more videos. I make 4 more videos on Scratch explaining more further detail how you could make your game or stories or random projects more efficient, seeming like a proper conversation, like a proper game, instead of just like block coding. So it doesn't appear as block coding. So like I could show you one of my other projects, my recent projects. So if I go to my stuff, that's where your projects will be once you create them. And I got shared projects, and I have the Dragonfly version 2. So I could click inside. It's a game for basically helping a dragonfly where I have to beat the game. It's loading project. I click this, so my score is 6 and level is 2. So once I start, I can click start over here, and this is the dragonfly. So I have to collect the butterflies basically, and I await the balls. So as you can see, I touched the balls and I lost 1 life. So I have to catch it, keep on catching the butterfly. If I touch the ball 3 times, I basically game over. I lost all my lives. So in the more advanced games, you can add scores, lives, and then levels even. So you could I keep on adding more stuff like that, and then you could add even conversations and like a proper conversation happening between two characters. So like when one character finishes a speech, then immediately right away the other character will start speaking instead of having a little time gap in between. So it seems more normal and smooth. So just like that, you could code this, and this will become how the final projects you'll be doing. Projects like these. So the basic project or homework for today, or if you have free time, I would like you to experiment Scratch, as I've already taught you the basics of Scratch and how you could manipulate the backdrop, sound, and characters in it. Thank you. The second video for Scratch will be uploaded soon.